Veteran Representative Raúl Grijalva, one of Arizona's longest-serving members of Congress, died on Thursday, ending his decades-long career in public service and creating a vacancy in the state's representation on Capitol Hill. The state will soon hold special elections to pick his successor. Under state law, Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs must establish the date of the special elections within 72 hours after the office is officially declared vacant. The primary election is to be held roughly 4 months after the vacancy happens, which puts it on track to take place during the summer of 2025. The general election will be held 2 to 3 months later. Grijalva, Democrat Arizona, represented Arizona's 7th congressional district, a bright blue stronghold that includes much of Arizona's border with Mexico. That means whoever wins the Democratic primary is overwhelmingly likely to win in the general election. Candidates interested in succeeding Grijalva don't have long to make up their mind. According to state law, they are required to file paperwork with elections officials within 30 days after the special election is called. Several names have been circulating. One of them is State Representative Alma Hernandez, D. Tucson, who publicly criticized Grijalva's decision to stay in office as his cancer treatment kept him away from Capitol Hill. She and her siblings, Consuelo and Daniel, are a force in Tucson's political establishment, and many expect that one member of the family will run. Tucson Mayor Regina Romero, who is married to Grijalva's longtime aide Ruben Reyes, is seen as another possible candidate. She recently appeared on local television to counter Hernandez's charges that Grijalva should leave office. Grijalva's daughter, Adelita, also has long been seen as a natural successor to her father. She now serves on the Pima County Board of Supervisors in the same seat her father held decades ago. Before Grijalva's death, 3 other Democratic candidates, Andrew Becerra, David Bees, and Abdul Hadi Ghulam Habib, had filed paperwork indicating their interest in running for the seat in 2026. Republican candidates Daniel Francis Gutierrez Sr., Jorge Rivas, Raúl Verdugo, and Jimmy Rodriguez had indicated their interest, too. Gutierrez unsuccessfully challenged Grijalva in 2024. More than 2 decades ago, Representative Grijalva embarked on a journey to be a voice for Southern Arizonans in Washington, D.C. Driven by his community values and spirit, he worked tirelessly and accomplished so much, for Arizona and for the country, his office said in a statement. The statement went on to tout his work to improve the region he represented and bring new business to Southern Arizona. It also noted his work on the Natural Resources Committee, which he chaired before Republicans retook the House majority in 2023. He was steadfast in his commitment to produce lasting change through environmental policies. As he would say, "It's for the babies," the statement read. But as his office announced early Thursday evening that he passed away that morning, there appeared to be some confusion. Just over an hour before his office revealed his death, the congressman's X account put out an anti-Trump post. President Trump's latest reckless decision to fire thousands of employees at the Department of Education jeopardizes critical student aid programs, weakens protections for student civil rights, and undermines essential support for students with disabilities, the Post Thursday afternoon read. This move severely threatens every child's access to a quality education nationwide, it continued. Grijalva was re-elected to his Arizona 7th District House seat in November 2024 with more than 63% of the vote, but announced the month before that he would not seek another term in 2026 as he underwent cancer treatment. However, he was unable to complete his final term. Serving Southern Arizona was the honor of Raúl M. Grijalva's life, the statement from his office read. His staff thanked those who partnered with Grijalva over the years as well as his family. In a statement, the Pima County Democratic Party praised Grijalva's dedication to education, the environment, and civil rights. Providence demands us bid farewell to our friend, but Arizona's appreciation for Raúl Grijalva is undying. His work endures, the Pima County Democratic Party wrote. His spirit is on our landscapes, our communities, and in the hearts of all who believe in a more just and compassionate world. With a passion for his community as well as for the planet, Grijalva was the former chairman of the House Natural Resources Committee, chair emeritus of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, and a longtime member of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Sierra Club Executive Director Ben Jealous said in a statement that the organization was mourning Grijalva's death, while also celebrating his legacy with the hope that it will serve as an inspiration for future conservation leaders. He combined passion, advocacy, and leadership that resulted in preserving some of this country's most treasured landscapes for generations to come, Jealous said. His work with tribal nations incorporated the voice of those who have stewarded these lands since time immemorial into public lands management policy. One of the congressman's major accomplishments was his part in the drafting of the Environmental Justice for All Act, which aimed to empower people to stand up for their communities. His strong belief was that no matter where you're from, one truth unites us all. Everyone deserves the freedom to live a healthy life, and every child deserves a safe and fair chance at their future, his office wrote. Grijalva's other successes in Congress included his work to protect the Grand Canyon for future generations, to fight climate change, and to fund conservation programs. Grijalva advocated for student loan forgiveness, protections for farm workers and other laborers exposed to heat, and expansion of early childhood education. Some of these victories seemed out of reach when he first came to Congress, but with support from community, colleagues, allies, and staff, he helped make them real, his office wrote. Grijalva began his political career in 1974 when he was elected to the Tucson Unified School District Governing Board, where he served until 1986. He was elected to the Pima County Board of Supervisors in 1988 and held a seat on the board until he was elected to Congress in 2002. Grijalva leaves behind his wife Ramona, daughters Adelita, Marissa, and Raquel, and 5 grandchildren. Democratic Congressman Greg Stanton said in a statement that Grijalva will be rightly remembered as one of the most consequential leaders in Arizona political history. Raúl never lost sight of the values he learned as a young community organizer, tirelessly advocating for immigrant families, education, and social justice, Stanton said. But perhaps his biggest accomplishment is his mentorship of a generation of young people in southern Arizona. While Grijalva's colleagues said in the statement that they were heartbroken by the news of his death, they said they are determined to carry on his legacy. From Tucson to Nogales and beyond, he worked tirelessly for transformational improvements, Grijalva's office wrote in the statement. Representative Grijalva pushed for new public parks, child care centers, healthcare clinics, local businesses, and affordable housing have breathed new life into neighborhoods across southern Arizona. In a statement, U.S. Senator Ruben Gallego described Grijalva as not only a colleague but a friend. As another Latino working in public service, I can say from experience that he served as a role model to many young people across the Grand Canyon state, Gallego wrote. He spent his life as a voice for equality. I am praying for his family during this time of grief, and I hope that they find comfort knowing his legacy is one that will stand tall for generations. Grijalva's seat in Congress, in an overwhelmingly blue district, will be filled via a special election. Governor Katie Hobbs is tasked with setting a special primary election for a date within the next 90 days and a special general election within the following 60 days. In its statement, Grijalva's office said it will continue to offer constituent services in the meantime. To his last day, he remained a servant leader who put everyday people first while in office, Hobbs said in a statement. I join every Arizonan in mourning his passing. May he rest in peace. This story was originally produced by the Arizona Mirror, which is part of State's Newsroom, a non-profit news network, including the Daily Montanan, supported by grants and a coalition of donors as a 501c3 public charity.